Hi everyone. Did you know that teaching is one of the evergreen courses and will remain marketable for generations despite the myriad advancements in technology? Are you aware that with the introduction of competence-based curriculum, CBC, the training for teachers, whether at diploma or degree levels in the universities and colleges, has drastically changed? Are you aware that teachers will now have to train in 3 teaching subjects, take longer training, and have extended teaching practice sessions, contrary to what has been the norm since time immemorial? Did you know that you cannot teach in Kenya, whether in public, private, or international schools, unless you register with the Teacher Service Commission? Let me share with you a few insights into the education training options and prospects as we approach full implementation of CBC at the secondary schools in Kenya. These I'm going to do in 2 parts. In part 1, which is contained in this video, it will be majorly about the Teacher Service Commission's proposal to universities and colleges on the structure of education training. This will be super helpful to those who would want to train as teachers. In part 2, which is in another video, it is going to be about trying to understand the CBC subject requirements at junior and senior secondary schools. This information will be very useful to you as a parent, a teacher, or a student who would want to help someone, or rather is the one expected to make an informed choice. This video is here to make your work pretty simple. Now let's begin by considering the Teacher Service Commission's proposal on the structure of education course in line with the competency-based curriculum. The Commission has proposed how the education course is to be structured. Universities and colleges are now racing against time to implement the proposals, failure to which their students will not be registered upon graduation. These changes are expected to be in place and should be in effect from the 2022/2023 academic year. One major shift from the past is that each student pursuing education should have at least 3 teaching subjects, that is, 2 major subjects and 1 minor subject for cost effectiveness and proper utilization of the teacher. This will assist the Commission to handle the new areas that have been introduced in the competency-based curriculum for junior secondary and senior secondary levels. For example, previously, TC licensed teachers to teach 2 teaching subjects, such as biology and chemistry. With these changes, the teacher will be expected to have a 3rd teaching subject, such as community service, or life skills, or physical education. Now, what does this mean for the current group of students who are already in training? They may be forced at some later stage to go back to colleges and universities to train on a 3rd minor subject for a few more months for them to be allowed to practice. Now let's consider some of the proposed changes to Bachelor of Arts with Education degree, normally known as Bachelor of Education Arts. Now the whole course will take 5.5 years. That includes half a year or 6 months for attachment or teaching practice. But the following requirements are necessary for one to join this Bachelor of Arts with Education degree. Number 1, a mean grade of C+ at KCSE or its equivalent, with discipline in English and Kiswahili. In addition, every student should have at least a B- or its equivalent in the 3 teaching subjects chosen from English, Kiswahili, Literature, History and Citizenship, Geography, Christian Religious Education, Islamic Religious Education, Hindu Religious Education, Business Studies, Mathematics, Arabic, French, German, Indigenous, Physical Education, Visual Arts, Performing Arts, Kenya Sign Language, Social Studies, Community Service Learning, and Life Skills. Now let's also consider how these changes will affect Bachelor of Science with Education, that is normally known as Bachelor of Education Science. The whole course will also take 5.5 years, that is 5 years for the training and 6 months for attachment of teaching practice. And it will have the following requirements at subject areas. Number 1, a mean grade of C+ at KCSE or its equivalent with discipline in English and Kiswahili. It will also require every student to have at least a B- or its equivalent in 3 teaching subjects chosen from mathematics, physics, physical sciences, chemistry, biology, ICT, computer science, agriculture, integrated science, health education, sports, and physical education. Let's now look at the proposed changes vis-a-vis technical subjects. Again, this will also take 5.5 years with the following requirements at subject level. Number 1, a mean grade of C+ or its equivalent at KCC level with C plain in English and Kiswahili. Again, number 2, every student should have at least a B- or its equivalent in the 3 teaching subjects chosen from pre-technical and pre-career education, agricultural technology, crop production, animal keeping, foods and nutrition, home management, garment making, interior design, aviation technology, wood technology, carpentry, electrical technology, electricity, electronics, metal technology, power mechanics, motor vehicle mechanics, leather work, hairdressing and beauty therapy, plumbing and ceramics, welding and fabrication, building, construction and metal work. The Teacher Service Commission has again also proposed professional courses that must also be undertaken by students at the university. Every student will be required to undertake the following professional courses. Number 1, curriculum development. 2, psychology in education. 3, sociology in education. 4, foundations in education. 5, measurement and evaluation. 6, planning and educational economics. 7, performance management. 8, mentorship and coaching. 9, education research and educational leadership. 10, micro teaching. Now, teaching practice is also a fundamental area that must be undertaken by every graduate or every student who would want to practice teaching in Kenya. And these are the changes that have been made to the teaching practice or attachment. Every student will be required, number 1, to undertake 2 full terms of practicum of 6 months and after completing the 5-year course. Again, every student will be required to pass in all the core units and electives in each of the 3 subjects undertaken. They must have covered at least 12 units in each of the 3 teaching subjects. In order for us to understand the rationale behind the Teacher Service Commission's proposal for the restructuring of the education course requirements, let us take a deep dive into CBC and its subject requirements to junior and senior secondary schools. Now, the fundamental differences between 844 and CBC are as follows. While 844 focuses on teaching, CBC focuses on practical learning. 844 focuses on memorization of content. CBC focuses on application of knowledge acquired. 844 focuses on academic achievements. CBC focuses not only on academic achievement but also on skills development and nurturing values. 844 focuses on examination and results. CBC focuses on what the learner is expected to achieve and provision of feedback on learner's progress. 844 focuses on competition. Now, what are the subjects that are going to be offered at junior secondary schools from 2023? This information will enable those interested in pursuing an education course to have visibility into the end from the beginning. As you may be aware, junior secondary schools takes effect in Kenya from January 2023, and they will largely be domiciled in secondary schools. This implies that they will be taught by secondary school teachers. Remember, junior secondary school comprises of grade 7, 8, and 9. Now, there are core and optional subjects in grade 7, 8, and 9. Core subjects are mandatory and they include English, Kiswahili or Kenya Sign Language, mathematics, integrated science, health education, social studies, religious studies, business studies, agriculture. Additionally, the following 3 core subjects are relatively new. Number 1, pre-technical and pre-career education. Now, career education helps students to develop the skills that are needed to evaluate potential career paths. Students engage in hands-on learning to master a craft such as plumbing, automotive technology, cosmetology, or welding. Number 2, life skills. Life skills is defined as a group of psychological competencies and interpersonal skills that help people make informed decisions or solve problems, think critically and creatively, communicate effectively, build healthy relationships, empathize with others, and cope up with or manage their lives in a healthy manner. And number 3, sports and physical education. This is something that has been in existence, but has not been, the government has not been very intentional about it. This time around, it's one of the core subjects that will have to be examined at the junior secondary school. And this is all about improving motor skills and increases muscle strength and bone density, which in turn makes students more likely to engage in healthy activities outside of school. Furthermore, it educates children on the positive benefits of exercise and allows them to understand how good it can make them feel. Now, what are the optional subjects that students are supposed to take at the junior secondary school? Learners should do a minimum of 1 and a maximum of 2 optional subjects, which includes 1. Visual arts. Visual arts covers 3 main subfields, that is fine art, which includes painting, drawing, graphics, sculpture, and architecture. The second subfield is decorative art, which is tapestry, ceramics, mosaic art, glass art, and jewelry. And the third subfield for this visual arts is contemporary art, which includes artistic photography, art print, video art, animation, and graffiti. Now, at number 2, the second optional subject for students at junior secondary school will be performing arts. Performing arts are Performing arts are arts or skills that require a performance in front of a public audience. Examples are acting, music, and dance. Other forms of performing arts include opera, theater, magic or illusion performances, mime, spoken word, recitation, and public speaking. Now, the other optional subjects that they can choose from at junior secondary school includes home science, computer science, foreign language that could be German, French, Arabic, etc. Another one is Kenya Sign Language, and also indigenous languages. I would now invite you to take a look at part 2 of this video with the title Part 2, Education Career Options in line with the CBC rollout. Now, Part 2 is a deep dive into the CBC subject requirements at the proposed senior secondary schools. This will be super helpful to those who want to know the subject combinations that will be marketable after the full implementation of the CBC curriculum. Make sure you subscribe to this channel to enable you to get the latest updates